Well, to quote Eric directly, when someone asked him what's the point of the meter, he said, quote, "So you guys watch."
All right, let's put this shit to bed. The reason I put the percentage bar on the videos is not because I think in that exact position it's 69%. It's literally a joke. Read the caption. Ben, use your fucking brain. So today we are reacting to none other than the Instagram critics that love to chop up my videos and make fun of me, which is cool. I like that. And plus, you got to be a good sport. If you're going to put content out on the internet and you don't have thick skin, then you probably shouldn't be putting content out in the first place, because people are going to react. And the more views you get, the more people are going to comment. So Phil loves to send me these. Phil right here over to my right, the videographer. Also, who puts the percentage meters on my videos. So you can thank him for, if you hate those, though, that's this guy over here. You're welcome. But let's start with this one right here. I don't even know how to start with these. All right, so I guess obviously the joke on these is that you've got different people commenting based on how they would react to it. Is that how this works?
I have not the slightest clue. Which one are you doing? The curl one?
Yeah. So basically, what are the, like, the little faces below? Is that like the whole idea of these?
Yeah.
Okay, so holy 45-degree prone lying bilateral cable biceps brachii curls at an astronomically slow tempo, coupled with cervical spine flexion, isometric hold, cry face heart, broken heart. Waiter, 1 cup of attention, please. Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, I think that a lot of people think my content is performative, and the exercise I do, I would never do myself, or I didn't build muscle, yada, yada, yada. I just do gear and I grow muscle regardless, or I just film these exercises after my workout to just garner attention. Whereas realistically, there's a few reasons I train like this. Number one is I think it is extremely beneficial in terms of muscle growth, in terms of creating as much stimulus as possible with a minimal amount of, let's say, momentum or fatigue associated with movement. So here, what I'm doing is setting up the cable in a position where I have my chest supported. I get to kind of like drag out of the bottom of that rep. I still have tension in that stretch position, so the cable is high enough that I can literally have force in that stretch position. So I still am going to stand by these exercises. I know you guys are going to clown me on this, but let's read some of the little comments he put below here. There's no supination here with the daisy chains to add stability. Congratulations. You're going to lose all your bicep musculature within the next 12 minutes. For sure. Valid. Bub could literally perform a standing cable curl and it'd be the same thing. I'm going to vault this anabolic mesocycle catabolism atrophic Neanderthal exercise. By the way, guys, I'm back to posting daily next video in 3 years. What character is that?
I have no idea.
Is that fucking, it looks like Bradley Martin, but it's not. So these are basically a complete troll on me. I would say realistically that a standing barbell curl is not an inherently bad exercise, but the reason I'm doing something like this is in order to try to put myself in a position, like I said, to get as much stimulus as possible. And I try a bunch of different shit. I've been doing this for 20 years. So another big reason is novelty, in the sense of I enjoy it. I like to go in, and I think people think that I'm trying to use studies to legitimize the exercises I do. In reality, I just try a ton of shit. Some of it's really, really good. Some of it's horse shit. And I just post the stuff I really like, and I do in my daily workouts or weekly workouts. And you might like it, might hate it, but that's kind of how I do things. So it's not based on some crazy study that was done in 1997 that showed that these curls are 2% more effective. It's just, for me, I'm just thinking through, how do I get as much stimulus as possible with a minimum amount of fatigue, and that's literally as far as it goes. So let's go on to the next one. People hate my decline flies, man. I swear people hate it. It just makes people so mad when they see me do these with the crazy stretch where I come back and I reach back and then go through. I don't know why it gets people so triggered. I think that people think that their shoulders are going to rip out of the sockets or something. But let's read the caption. Holy, how can I be different today? Exercise consisting of supine, decline, dumbbell, bilateral pectoralis flies with ascending resistance profile and isometric rectus femoris stretch. Oh man, yeah. So it's actually it's a descending resistance profile, but that's okay. But yeah, no, essentially anything to be different. So the reason I do these on a decline is really because if you are on a flat bench, it disables you from getting here and then reaching back effectively before scooping through. I actually literally did these today like an hour and a half ago, and I still stand by them. I love them. And the reason I train with this exercise specifically is realistically when I get into that decline position, it allows me more space to kind of clear back and up to get more stretch to the pecs. And for me, I'm always thinking, how do I make the weight that I have create as much torque and mechanical tension on the target muscle group as possible? So if I'm here and I only reach back to here and then up, I'm going to get less torque. Whereas if I come back and up here, I'm still in pec, but now I'm making that 55 or 60 pound dumbbell so much, it creates so much more force in that stretch position where we're going to get the most growth. We're going to get more motor recruitment. And if you have good stability, if your tendons and you've worked your way up to that range of motion safely, I've never felt like in that position that I'm going to tear my pec or hurt my shoulder. And I actually have way less shoulder pain or chest pain or anything, elbow pain since training like this. And that's the second reason, is creating those stretch adaptations over time. It's almost like a partner stretch every single rep. And that's why I don't have to do any mobility work, because realistically, if I could walk into the gym tomorrow morning and just do the whole stack on my first rep with full range of motion on, let's say, a machine fly, because I've worked myself up to basically accumulating those stretch adaptations over time, because every single time I train, I am essentially stretching the tissue just as much as I am creating hypertrophy. So that's why I do it, and it makes me feel great, and I feel like my physique is progressing a lot. So I'm going to stand by this, but I'm not surprised that this one got called out, because it does look very performative, and it is a very hard movement pattern to tackle and do correctly. So I'm not saying it's for everybody. It's definitely for a intermediate advanced, probably towards very advanced lifter. It's not necessary if you are just hopping into the gym, and I don't want people to think that either. Oh, I knew it. My fucking curls, the Janicki curls. Holy triple superset containing cervical spine flexion extension lengthening position lying bicep brachii curls and rectus femoris isometric stretch. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, we got a Paul Carter quote. 4 reps, holy fatigue maxing, no more workouts for the next 20 years, bub. I'm going to block you for absolutely no reason. Before that, look at my house. That's funny. If you guys know fitness, that's funny. But Paul, I love that guy. He is essentially, he's pretty much the opposite of me when it comes to people critiquing their stuff. I think it's funny. He does not find it funny at all. So do not critique Paul in any way on social media. You will get ripped to shreds and then blocked. Let's see what Greg said. I scream in a high-pitched voice and squint my eyes, which means I'm right. This exercise would be good if he had a proper tan. Use code Greg to get my cookbook and Turk GO2 Max. By the way, look at my girlfriend. Oh man, that exercise, same thing. I'm going to stand behind it. Basically what you're trying to do is put yourself more horizontal, so you have still a ton of tension and stretch. If you're doing a standing curl, essentially you've got no tension at the bottom of the rep, and a lot of times you can use momentum. This solves both of those problems. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Next. Oh, this one's good, bro. All right, so I feel like it's just such small modifications of machines that people just get so mad about. Like, I'm just doing this Arsenal pull down, which realistically does not have a good line of pull. If you're all the way tucked under that pad, basically it's going to pull right down into your shoulder. And essentially what we want to do to get lat is pull right into the hip pocket. So what I'm doing is setting myself back, and by having that extra bracing point with the opposite hand, because I found is I'm just too far away to brace that hand into the pad. So by having something I can hold on to, I'm able to lean back and still stay back, so I can, when I get in stretch, I can stay in lat. I know it looks stupid, but I play around with this stuff enough that I feel like I've figured out a decent amount how to connect with different muscle groups. But let's see what people have to say about this one. This is 2 speed, by the way. By the way, like, pack it up, bro. Growing a beard over here.
So it's still a 4-second eccentric on 2x.
Is this 2x? Let me see.
2x speed, bro.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's fucked. Yeah, it's probably too slow. Anyway, all right, here's a Ben Yanes one. Ben hates me.
I'm going to break this video down bit by bit to show you why it doesn't make any sense. So it starts off with Eric holding up a dumbbell. But oh no, Hani says no, we must use a cable. It then flashes to this meter where at the bottom of the dumbbell fly, only 69% of the muscle fibers are activated. So why is the dumbbell shown as 69% and why is the cable shown at 95%? Well, to quote Eric directly, when someone asked him what's the point of the meter, he said, quote, so you guys watch. So at least he's admitting that this is for views and not at all for education. But there is a greater problem with this, which is that it's super clear through how the video is presented that the dumbbell is supposed to be worse and the cable is supposed to be better. And yet in the caption, he's saying something else. He says that you should probably do both, which in general is probably something that I agree with if it wasn't for all the other nonsense in the caption. So this
all right, let's put this shit to bed. The reason I put the percentage bar on the videos is not because I think in that exact position it's 69%. It's literally a joke. The reason we did 69% is literally for that reason, that it is a way for me to get people to watch the content because they need something flashy and a fucking percentage bar. And I'm sorry that has to be the case, but the reason, the thought process behind why I think one exercise is slightly better than another does still stand. If you guys ever want to see that, read the caption. Ben, use your fucking brain. Obviously, I don't think that the dumbbell fly is only 69% effective. If you knew that, if you saw that it was 69%, you should probably deduce that it was a joke. So yes, I do stand behind all the things I said. Does a cable, because that line of force is coming from outside of your body instead of a dumbbell, which then is stacking the joint, is going to have more consistent resistance profile throughout the course of the rep than a dumbbell? Absolutely. If you don't think that, you're absolutely you just don't have a fucking brain or don't know physics. So that's the reason that you have more tension throughout the course of the rep. And if you're saying that you can manipulate a dumbbell the same way you can in terms of a cable, that's just not true. A dumbbell is always going to follow a line of gravity, right? So if you have an incline, sure, you can move your fucking hands down, but what are you going to do when it's down by your hips? Do you think that's going to be a chest exercise anymore? No, it's getting pulled towards the floor. Whereas if I put the cable, let's say low position, and I want to go up, I'm still going to have tension here. Whereas if I put a dumbbell here, am I going to have fucking tension on my chest? No, Ben. That's dumb. So to say that you can't manipulate cables better than dumbbells to align forces and actually hit your chest the way you want to is just incorrect. So I'll stand on that one as well. But I think people just hate when they see something different or novel, or they think that I'm saying you can't do those other exercises. I always say do both. They're both great options. Here's the reason that I prefer this over that. So if you ever see any of my content, I don't want you to get triggered, and I hope that you guys can see past the fact that, of course, I have to, if I posted 90-second long reels while I'm explaining why an incline dumbbell fly is not quite as good as a cable setup with a similar movement pattern, I would get like 50,000 views, where if I post it with the percentage bar, I'm realistically going to get millions of views. And so I'd rather reach more people, and then maybe they'll go watch my YouTube and they'll learn why I think that in a longer format. So that's the reason I do it, guys. So don't hate me for it. And realistically, I think that my training, if we're going to talk about people that put out bad information versus good information, if my training is meant to be slower, safer, more range of motion, I think that's always going to trump somebody that's putting out just lift heavy as fuck, don't care about form, and maybe like just go in there and like slang and bang. I think that for me, I would say that my training is going to be across the board just safer overall. So I'll leave you guys with that, and I will see you on the next video.